You might think that prayer is just a hopeful wish, something we say when all else fails. But what if I told you that Psalm 22 holds a secret weapon, a powerful prayer that can literally shield your life from ruin and enemies? It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Yet, many overlook this ancient wisdom, missing out on the protection that angels and divine power offer. If you're tired of feeling vulnerable to envy, curses, or hidden attacks, this prayer is a game changer. Stick around, because this isn't just about asking for help. It's about stepping into a spiritual fortress that transforms your reality fast. When the video begins, it invites the viewer on a spiritual journey rooted deeply in Psalm 22, a powerful scripture used to repel enemies, envy, curses, gossip, witchcraft, and every shade of evil that tries to invade one's life. Imagine standing in the middle of a battlefield, but instead of weapons, you have faith and prayer as your shield. It's not just about defense. It's about reclaiming your peace by calling on the divine forces that angels and the Bible teach us to trust. This sets the stage for something much bigger than just words. It's a spiritual armor. Right from the start, a heartfelt prayer rises, urgent and pure, asking God to sweep away every trace of evil without delay. Think about when life feels heavy, like a dark cloud hovering, and you just want the storm to pass. That's the moment this prayer captures. It's not a vague hope, but a direct plea for protection from harm and malice, the kind that sneaks in through envy or whispered lies. The prayer wraps the faithful in a promise that divine protection is near and ready to act. What's remarkable is how this prayer isn't just about asking. It's about activating trust in God's power to shield and save. It teaches that when the waves of negativity rise, be it through witchcraft or gossip, there's a way to stand firm. And it's not just theory. People have experienced profound peace after praying these words, feeling as if angels surround them in their darkest hours. But this is just the beginning. The journey into trusting God, even amid despair, is about to unfold. This prayer moves into a deeply personal place, where even in moments of despair and loneliness, the believer reaches out, trusting God despite feeling abandoned. It's like calling out into a vast silence, hoping to hear a loving voice answer back. Many know that sinking feeling, when life seems unfair and the world feels cold. But this prayer invites a different response, leaning into divine strength instead of giving up. It's a powerful reminder that God's presence never truly leaves, even when it feels like it. The text encourages us to embrace vulnerability, not as weakness, but as a doorway to refuge. Picture a ship caught in a storm, but with an unshakable anchor holding it steady. That's the kind of strength Psalm 22 speaks about. It's practical too. When you feel overwhelmed, reading these words aloud or silently can help center your mind and heart. This prayer models how to turn feelings of abandonment into opportunities to pray for courage and renewal, a strategy anyone can practice daily. Trusting God through despair also means recognizing that even angels are at work behind the scenes, guarding those who pray. The Bible tells stories of divine protectors sent to watch over the faithful, and this prayer invites you to lean on that unseen support. Life throws curveballs, but having faith as your refuge turns fear into hope. What seems like isolation becomes a sacred moment to build spiritual resilience. And there's more to uncover about the kinds of attacks this prayer guards against. This part of the prayer calls out for protection against all sorts of verbal attacks, lies, envy, curses, and those invisible darts of negativity that people sometimes throw without mercy. It's like asking for a spiritual shield that turns poisonous words into harmless whispers or even blessings. Imagine how powerful it is to take the sting out of gossip and envy simply by inviting God's transforming power through prayer. This isn't just poetic. It's a real spiritual practice that changes how we experience daily life. Practical application: next time you feel attacked by harsh words or unfair rumors, pause and say this prayer or reflect on Psalm 22. It's like having a secret weapon, grounded in the Bible's wisdom and backed by angels watching over you. This changes the game from feeling powerless to becoming a force of peace. The prayer reminds us that God can flip negativity around, turning curses into unexpected blessings, a truth that's both encouraging and empowering. And here's the kicker. It's not only about what others say, but about protecting your spirit from unseen spiritual attacks, including witchcraft or malice lurking beneath the surface. The Bible reveals that spiritual warfare is real, but so is divine protection. When you pray like this, you call on the power of angels and God's might to stand guard. This creates a fortress around your soul, making you stronger against forces that seek to harm. The journey continues as we explore how this prayer honors God's holiness and faithfulness. The video then shines a bright light on God's holiness and faithfulness, qualities that have been a rock for the faithful throughout history. Think about stories from the Bible where God showed up just when things looked darkest, like a beacon cutting through the storm. It's these moments that build our trust, reminding us that divine help is not a one-time deal, but a continuous presence. Knowing this turns prayer from a last resort into a daily habit of connecting with a faithful friend. Faith isn't just blind hope, it's backed by a long track record of deliverance. When people read Psalm 22, they tap into centuries of testimony where God rescued those feeling trapped by affliction and evil. This history becomes a living encouragement, like hearing from a friend who's been through the fire and come out stronger. The video invites viewers to anchor their struggles in this divine faithfulness, seeing their challenges as part of a bigger spiritual story. By recognizing God's unchanging character, believers gain confidence to face their battles head-on, knowing they aren't alone. The Bible teaches that angels act as messengers and warriors in this divine plan, reinforcing protection. This assurance isn't just comforting, it's transformative. As the prayer progresses, it dives into specific requests for deliverance from those who mock and seek to harm, revealing even deeper layers of spiritual defense. The prayer then turns its gaze toward deliverance from mockers, false friends, and those who quietly plot the believer's downfall. It's like asking God to dismantle the hidden traps set by people who wear smiles but carry knives. Life often throws these challenges our way, and this prayer offers a way to stand firm, using faith as a fortress against betrayal and ruin. This isn't just about protection, it's about reclaiming peace when surrounded by enemies. Think about those times when a trusted person suddenly turns sour or gossip spreads like wildfire in your circle. The Bible shows us that even angels are involved in guarding hearts and minds, standing as sentinels against deception and harm. This prayer encourages believers to lean into that divine guard, strengthening their spiritual walls. It's practical, too, when confronted by betrayal. Turning to this prayer centers the soul and reinforces resilience. What's more, this part of the prayer highlights that faith is not fragile, but a stronghold built over time. Every challenge faced and every prayer uttered lays another stone in the fortress protecting the believer. This spiritual defense is essential because enemies aren't always obvious. They sometimes come disguised as friends. The journey continues as the prayer expresses trust in God's eternal protection from birth onward. This prayer boldly expresses trust in God's eternal protection, starting from birth and continuing through every season of life. It's like having a lifelong bodyguard, invisible yet unbreakable, guarding your steps from the very first breath. The Bible reassures us that this divine watchfulness never falters, even when challenges pile up like waves. This certainty becomes a source of calm strength amid life's storms, reminding believers they are never truly alone. Practical wisdom lies in embracing this ongoing protection daily, through prayer, meditation, or simply recalling God's promises found in Scripture. For instance, reading Psalm 91 or Psalm 23 alongside Psalm 22 can deepen that sense of safety and peace. This layered approach to faith helps cultivate resilience and inner calm, making every trial a little less daunting. The angels, acting as heavenly guardians, constantly reinforce this shield, even when we don't see them. By trusting in this lifelong protection, believers find renewed courage to face adversities with grace. The prayer invites us to hold tight to this divine promise, allowing it to shape how we respond to hardships and uncertainty. Yet, there's more to uncover. As the prayer closes, it seeks God's presence and justice to silence enemies and bring peace, which leads us to the final reflection. The prayer wraps up with a heartfelt plea for God's presence, help, and justice to silence all enemies, and wipe away every trace of malice. It's a powerful call for divine intervention that fills the believer's life with peace and protection. Imagine feeling completely shielded, like a fortress where no negativity can enter, just because you invited God's presence through prayer. This kind of peace isn't just wishful thinking. It's an active spiritual reality. Asking for justice isn't about revenge, but about restoring balance and truth, letting God handle what we cannot. It's a reminder that we're not alone in this fight. The angels stand ready to act, and the Bible shows countless examples of divine justice unfolding at the perfect time. This prayer helps shift the focus from personal struggle to trusting a higher power's timing and wisdom, a vital lesson for anyone facing hardship. Finally, the request for peace and protection calls believers to live with renewed hope and courage, even when the world seems hostile. It's an ongoing invitation to pray without ceasing, to keep the spiritual fortress strong and open the door for divine blessings. This closing thought naturally leads back to the power of prayer itself, how it is the foundation and the key to unlocking all these spiritual defenses. Now that you've discovered the incredible power hidden in Psalm 22, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. How will you make prayer a daily shield against negativity and spiritual attacks? What steps can you take today to invite angels and divine protection into your life? Remember, true transformation starts when you actively engage with this prayer and trust in God's faithfulness. Don't just watch, become the fortress of peace and strength you were meant to be. If this message moved you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more life-changing insights about the Bible, angels, and the power to pray.